But the latest in the Saif Ali Khan case, the accused has been remanded to 5-day police custody in connection with this attack on the Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan. Now, while demanding the accused 14-day custody, the police said that the attacker is ruthless and as he stabbed Saif Ali Khan several times. They also added that they needed him in custody to collect more evidence. The accused, remember, was arrested by Mumbai police from Thane. Mumbai police today said that there is primary evidence to believe that the accused is a Bangladeshi citizen. He does not have valid Indian documents. There have been some seizures too, including his birth certificate, that prove that he is a Bangladeshi national, is what the police have said. In fact, the police added that Mohammad Shariful Islam Shehzad, he had changed his name to Vijay Das after entering India in order to hide his Bangladeshi origins. He in fact came to Mumbai 5 to 6 months ago. He stayed in Mumbai for a few days and then in the vicinity of Mumbai and was working in a housekeeping agency as well.
The police custody was not required as all the weapon and everything has been recovered by the investigation officer. Only forensic report and other things are there. It has to be taken care by the investigation officer by the FSL report, not by the custody. Just because it is a Saif Ali Khan, the matter has been hyped and he has been extended to police custody. International issue नहीं है, वो एक यंग बच्चा है, उसको स्केपगोट किया गया है. अभी वो बांग्लादेशी है ओरिजिन, ये नहीं है, वो अभी तक कंफर्म ये नहीं है. उनके पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस नहीं है, कोई इंटरनेशनल इशू नहीं है और कोई अटेम्प्ट टू मर्डर नहीं है.
एक आरोपी को उसमें अरेस्ट किया गया है. उस आरोपी का नाम मोहम्मद शरीफुल इस्लाम शहजाद है. मोहम्मद शरीफुल इस्लाम शहजाद, एज 30 इयर्स. अभी तक की इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये समझ में आया है कि ये आरोपी चोरी के इरादे से उस घर में उसने एंटर किया था और उस समय पर ये इंसिडेंस हुआ था. इस एक्यूज को कोर्ट में पेश किया जाएगा और पुलिस कस्टडी की रिक्वेस्ट की जाएगी और उसके बाद आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जाएगा. एप्रोप्रिएट इस केस में एप्रोप्रिएट सेक्शंस की वाड़ की गई है और उस हिसाब से आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जा रहा है.
किन सेक्शंस को पासपोर्ट एक्ट में या फिर
पासपोर्ट एक्ट के रेलेवेंट सेक्शंस में रेलेवेंट सेक्शंस इसमें अप्लाई किए गए हैं. उसके डिटेल्स हम प्रेस नोट से आपसे शेयर कर रहे हैं. ही डजंट हैव Indian valid document as of now. We think that this is his first time entrance at that residence.
Mumbai police had sought 14-day for police custody and there were multiple arguments that were made before the court for seeking maximum custody by the public prosecutor. Public prosecutor there saying that there could be more than that meets the eye. There could be another person who may have helped this individual, Mohammad Shehzad, in order to carry out this crime. Also going on to say that he's an illegal immigrant. He immigrated from Bangladesh a few months back. So therefore, how he managed to get inside India is another part of investigation that needs to be looked at, is what the Mumbai police have said. They also say that there is a possibility that this person knew that this is a highly secure area. This is a residence of a high-profile celebrity. However, in the interrogations, this individual the accused has in fact claimed that he did not know that this residence was of Saif Ali Khan's, which the police at this point is not ready to believe. So they would like to find out how this man managed to secure entry there. Did he conduct a recce beforehand? Who was helping him out? And also some of the evidence need to be recovered is what the police officials have been saying, and the public prosecutor also, that they need to recover the piece of clothing that he wore at the time of the crime. They also need to recover blood samples and also one of the pieces of knife that we believe has been missing. But as far as the argument from the other side is concerned, the lawyer of the accused, they're claiming that this case has been blown out of proportion simply because a celebrity is involved, that he's not an illegal immigrant from Bangladesh or something he has claimed.
All right, I'm currently joined by my colleague Abira Dhar. I also have with me Sanjay Pandey, the former DGP of Maharashtra. Abira, before I come to you, Mr. Pandey, Abira, to you first. What are the details that you can give us at this point with respect to Saif Ali Khan's health and especially the security around the hospital?
We do have security around the hospital. The hospital, if you see, the hospital security has been increased, as well as there's police sitting in every gate so that the media doesn't enter. They are checking every car that is entering. They would not let anybody enter without a reason. If there are patients, they are entering. There are doctors, nurses, they are allowed inside, but they are checking every car before they enter. Second thing is, Kareena Kapoor is inside, Sharmila Tagore is inside. We also saw the first visitor other than family today was Arjun Kapoor. He's inside right now. The doctors have strictly said that we are not allowing any visitors to come in. We are restricting visitors from meeting Saif because he needs complete bed rest, and which means that he cannot meet people other than family because there's a chance of infection because of the wound that he has near the spine, where the knife, 2.5-inch knife, entered his body, and it has been removed by the neurosurgeons. So that's a high risk. They said the infection is a high risk, so they will not let visitors come in. But today, whole day, we have seen a family coming in and going. Sharmila ji went in inside. In the morning, she's still inside by her son's side. The two sons, Taimur and Jay, for the first time after the incident had come to see their father, but they were there only for 20 minutes. We also saw Sara Ali Khan coming in, Soha Ali Khan's sister with brother-in-law Kunal Kemu. They were all in. They are constantly coming in and leaving. But right now Arjun is inside. Also, what we have seen is Kareena Kapoor came in today with her son and Sara, and there was another car full of security. The security has been heightened around the family. There are 5 bodyguards standing outside wherever Kareena is going, or the kids are. There's security around them. The family must be terrified after what happened, so they have personally taken security for themselves.
Absolutely. Abira Dhar, thank you very much for getting us all the latest from outside the Leelavati hospital. In fact, I also have Mr. Sanjay Pandey, the former DGP of Maharashtra, with us. Sir, my first question to you is, how would you assess the police's response to this entire case? What is your opinion on that?
I think from whatever I have read and whatever I've been seeing, I think the police has been pretty professional. So far, they have been within a matter of like 2 days, they have zeroed in onto the person who as per the reports, has already admitted to the crime. So I think full marks to the Bombay police for being able to get to the bottom of this so quickly. There will be other angles which are there, which they will have to investigate, and I think they have rightfully asked for the custody for the same reason. How did he come? How did he know? And how did he enter? How did he run away? All those things will have to be investigated. And for that, I think they have rightfully asked for the custody, which has been also granted to them.
Right. Sir, just for the benefit of our viewers, what are the key considerations for conducting a custodial interrogation of an accused like this? If you can elaborate on that, please.
So first and foremost, even today, I think most people, even the viewers, would like to be 100% sure that this was indeed a robbery. Let me start from there. Okay. So the police will have to establish very clearly that this person really came to rob or to steal. So for this, they need to talk to him in person and at length. Did he work on his own? Look, this is like 12th floor or the 11th floor. There is security. How did he avoid that?
True.
Was he all alone there, or there was somebody else? All this needs to be very clearly interrogated and probably written down, and pieces have to be joined together to make sure the person going down, the person going up is the same. Why was he covering his face going up? Why he was not covering his face when coming down? Now, all these things only this accused can tell. And for that, they would need to have him in custodial interrogation. And I think that's what they're doing.
Do you think this 5-day custody is enough time to find out these answers, sir? Or do you think the police, when they asked for a 14-day police custody, that was the right amount of time for them?
No, the process now, as per the new laws, is very clear that police can still get 14 days custody.
Okay.
Now, after 5 days, they can bring in more facts and they can ask the custody. A maximum 14 days can be allowed, and I think that's how the law stands. So I think they would probably ask for more custody after 5 days in case they really require, in case there are more people involved, in case they get more leads. I think that's the process, and that they will probably do that.
Right. In fact, sir, I also want to understand, we've seen such incidents in the past, similar incidents where a politician was gunned down in Bandra. Then there was incidents related to Salman Khan, how somebody fired a gun outside his residence. Just want to get a sense of how can the police, how can the security of areas, high-profile areas, can be increased in the sense that such incidents don't happen at all?
No, I was just listening to the lady reporter. They're saying that 5 people have been posted and on and along. I think his wife. There are guards, both I think to Salman Khan. At the time I was commissioner, his security was being reviewed. Let me tell you one thing which I want to make very clear, that by putting more people, by putting more guards and trying to be more present on the street, you do not really stop crime. There is this kind of crime, as I said, there is crime of passion where people are passionate about certain things, emotion, and some transaction oriented, somebody is taken money. It's very difficult to really stop this. What can really stop this, and why in certain countries these things don't happen, is where the enforcement is very, very strong. And the punishment here, by the way, maximum will be about 10 years. That is as per the law. With weapon, robbery, I mean, there is nothing being robbed, but even if we convert to attempt to murder, that is what it will be. And after how many years this will happen, that's the point. I mean, compare it to the Western countries. I mean, this would lead you to like 30 years, 40 years. I mean, that's where the point is. If you do not, this is a deterrence that would probably make sure, rather than putting more security, putting more policemen, my experience doesn't really help.
Okay.
It's only momentary.
All right. Mr. Sanjay Pandey, thank you very much for speaking with NDTV and sharing your views, sir.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, politics has erupted as far as this entire incident is concerned. The accused Bangladeshi origins, that has been confirmed by the police. And now the politics has erupted over the Bangladeshi immigrants. Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, he has said that the accused came via Kolkata. Congress has also spoken on illegal migrants, saying that the centre is unable to control infiltration and that the government cannot control infiltration at all. BJP, in the meanwhile, has attacked the Aam Aadmi Party over immigrants, saying that Aam Aadmi Party gave shelter to immigrants and that the immigrants are being used for poll gains. Let's listen in to some of the reactions.
ये बहुत गंभीर बात है कि महाराष्ट्र में बड़े पैमानों पर रोहिंग्या आए हैं, ऐसा आरोप किया जाता है। बांग्लादेशी आए, अभी सैफ के घर में जिसने इतना बड़ा कांड किया वो आरोपी बांग्लादेशी है, ये कहा जाता है। तो सवाल तो केंद्र सरकार पे खड़े होंगे कि इतने बड़े पैमाने पर इतने 5-6 स्टेट को क्रॉस करके लोग महाराष्ट्र तक कैसे पहुंचते हैं, क्या करती है बीएसएफ, क्या करती है मिलिट्री हमारी, और क्या करता है केंद्र सरकार का इंटेलिजेंस डिपार्टमेंट। तो इसका खामियाजा जो है वो आम जनता को भुगतना पड़ता है। सेलिब्रिटी से लेकर सरपंच तक महाराष्ट्र में कोई भी सुरक्षित नहीं है और ऐसी स्थिति कानून व्यवस्था की महाराष्ट्र में कभी नहीं थी।
यहाँ जो लेबर आते हैं वो लेबर की नेशनलिटी चेक करना चाहिए, वो कहाँ के, उनकी वृत्ति क्या है वो चेक करना है, विकासक का काम है। अगर नहीं करते हुए ऐसे जो अपन लोग रखेंगे, हिंदुस्तान में एंट्री करने के लिए कामगार करके आते हैं, बाद में गुनेगारी यहाँ करते हैं, यहाँ आतंक फैलाते हैं, तो यहाँ के आने वाले हर एक लेबर की इंक्वायरी करके ही उनको काम पे रखना चाहिए।
पहले दिन से हम कह रहे हैं कि देश में अवैध बांग्लादेशी, अवैध रोहिंग्या देश की सुरक्षा के लिए और दिल्ली की सुरक्षा के लिए खतरा है। और वो जो पकड़ा गया वो भी अवैध बांग्लादेशी है। अब जिन बांग्लादेशियों को पालने का काम अरविंद केजरीवाल करते हैं, उनको 10,000 रुपये महीना उनके विधायक देने का काम करते हैं, उनके नकली आधार कार्ड, उनके नकली वोट बनाने का काम अरविंद केजरीवाल करते हैं। अरविंद केजरीवाल ये तुम्हारा रिश्तेदार है जो पकड़ा गया वहाँ से।
All right, my colleague Saurabh Gupta joins us to get us more on this. Saurabh, you know, the Bangladeshi migrants and illegal migrants, it has been a poll issue in when we saw that in Jharkhand as well. Now an entire controversy has erupted. The politicians are in a war of words. In what context should this be seen at this moment?
Well, you know, there is obviously an issue here, and that infiltration has gone up specifically after the incidents in Bangladesh in August last year. That is undeniable. That is a fact that's been witnessed on the ground. At least attempts to infiltrate into India from Bangladesh, given the instability in the country, has gone up. Now, also what we've seen is using this, several anti-social elements, anti-India elements also have tried to use this situation to infiltrate into India. And what we are seeing also is in West Bengal, at least, there has been a war of words between the BSF and the state government over who's responsible for border security, with the state government pinning the responsibility entirely on the BSF and the union government responding, or the BJP responding, saying that the state government hasn't given land to the BSF for enough border outposts. But those are issues, those are ongoing issues. What we've also seen is that in the last few months, not only in West Bengal, even in states like Assam, even in states like Tripura, Bangladeshi immigrants who've come into the country have been held and have been stopped. And that is something that even the state's DGP, Rajiv Kumar, West Bengal's DGP, has admitted, saying that if anyone has to enter India from Bangladesh, given that West Bengal shares the longest border with Bangladesh, it will be that route. So perhaps this is the same kind of pattern that we are seeing even with this case, where the attacker seems to have entered India through the Bangladesh border in West Bengal.
All right, Saurabh Gupta, thank you very much for getting us all the latest. Meanwhile, it's time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Well, I'm in Altadena. This is one of the worst hit areas. When disaster strikes, NDTV World brings you exclusive on-the-ground reports straight from the heart of the action.
A neighborhood in Los Angeles that has been devastated by fire.
I just received an emergency alert extreme, which has come on my phone. Stay tuned for NDTV World's in-depth coverage as we bring you the real stories from Los Angeles. This is the Altadena area, and there are still fires and there's a lot of smoke in the area. These houses completely gutted. This is reporting that matters only on NDTV World.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Maha Kumbh, a festival of faith. the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Maha Kumbh 2025.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to the best of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
For 2 decades, NDTV has been a window to the world's greatest thinkers, leaders, Nobel laureates and stars at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
From Bill Gates to Shakira to Randy Zuckerberg to top ministers to what is often the biggest story, India, a global economic powerhouse. Conversations around our greatest challenges from AI to wars to sustainability. Join us, NDTV's Vishnu Shom and me, Neeraj Shah, as we engage with the world's finest. NDTV at Davos from January 20th to January 25th.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Our special show Together Against HPV. I'm Gargi Rawat. On the show today, a special discussion where we explore how states across India are leading the fight against cervical cancer through HPV vaccination initiatives. From being pioneers to recent adopters, these efforts are paving the way for a healthier future. Let's begin with Sri G.T. Dhungal, Health Minister of Sikkim, as he shares insights into their landmark HPV vaccination program initiated in 2018 and tells us how in just the last 6 years, they've seen a significant dip in the cases of cervical cancer. It is now our honor to be joined live from Gangtok by Sri G.T. Dhungal, the Minister for Health and Family Welfare for Sikkim. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us in this very special campaign. First and foremost, congratulations, sir, on Sikkim becoming the first state to implement the HPV vaccine at the state level. You began back in 2018 and your HPV vaccination campaign was incorporated into the state's routine immunization program. We really want to know from you what led to this, what were the conversations and the thought behind this?
Good afternoon, madam. It is nice to be with you, and it's a privilege to be amidst all the learned people here. For information, our government, which started under the able leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamam, he is very proactive and he is very compassionate towards all the people here. We have rolled out a scheme under the guidance of the Chief Minister, and of course it's a central scheme, but it's for the aged also. But the HPV vaccines, which we had carried out in 2018, it has helped a lot because the cervical cancer was quite common here in Sikkim. So this launching of this HPV vaccines has protected a lot of girls from having this cervical cancer, because under the CASH program also, we did the screening for the cervical cancers. So when we had this opportunity to roll out the HPV vaccines, that has helped a lot and it has controlled the spread of cervical cancers to a great extent.
That's amazing. I mean, just in 6 years, they've managed to bring down the prevalence of cervical cancer. I think that calls for a big round of applause. Absolutely incredible and so heartening that, despite the odds and challenges, that clearly the government's worked very hard at this. Tell us more about that. How did you overcome the resistance from the community, tradition, mindset, taboos around this cancer and the vaccine?
Actually, see, like when people suffer, the first and foremost what people require is good health. And for good health, now when faith healers go around spreading all sorts of rumors, and then they have all sorts of misconceptions are there, when they try all the tricks and then when it doesn't work out, then ultimately they'll have to resort to these medical facilities and the vaccines which we had rolled out. So all these things combined together have helped overcome the misconceptions which the faith healers had, and even the local leaders and the community leaders who were a bit doubtful about the vaccine, after the results which has been explicitly revealed and they can now see around, has convinced them, and all these factors where they could see the reality and the process and the effects of the HPV vaccines, people have now considered that this is good and they should go in for that. So now it has been used and it is being used explicitly in a wide way in regard to the vaccines relating to HPV.
All right, wonderful. Dhungalji, now we do know vaccines are usually part of the national immunization program. We're still awaiting that the government will do something more on this. And that's also because of the costs that are involved in a vaccination program. So tell us, how does Sikkim sustain, support and fund the vaccination program for all the eligible girls?
No, actually, it's mainly the center, the government of India, who have been very kind to us, and whatever fund we have with the state, with that we try to procure the vaccines, and we try to use that for all the girls, especially ranging between 9 to 14 years, and that we have been doing very successfully. Of course, there are constraints in regard to funding, but then the government of India has been very kind and they have been helping us from time to time. So there's not much of issue on that.
Right, sir, and you've already seen what an improvement in women's health ever since you began this vaccine program. And vaccination is one way of fighting cervical cancer. Then, of course, there's screening. If you could tell us what are you doing in Sikkim to increase awareness around screening for women, and so that the rates will increase and potential cancers can be caught.
No, we have the mobile vans are there. Then we have health workers who are spread all over the places, even in rural areas. So they go on doing the screening and other necessary tests or whatever is necessary, so that the cervical cancer, if they are there possessed by cervical cancer or they are affected by cervical, it can be detected at early age. So when it's detected at early age, the prevention and the cure is very much there. So that's how we have been doing, and I would like to thank the health workers who have been very sincere, committed and dedicated, and they have been putting all their efforts to see that they reach out to the people wherever necessary.
And finally, Dungalji, if you could tell us what are the biggest learnings that you've had, and what would you say to if we wanted a national level program, what could be applied to such a program from what your experience has been in Sikkim with this vaccination program?
What I feel now from our learning, we see that people have to be proactive, they have to come forward. They should not just confine themselves to their villages or homes, because whatever the government does in regard to health, it's for their well-being. So it's my plea and my suggestion and my request to all the people all over India that they should come out, cooperate with the government, cooperate with the health workers. So whatever information they have, they should not hide. Because if they hide later on, it may become a major problem, and at that time it will be too late. So a check-in time saves 9, they say, no? So a stitch in time saves 9. So that adage has to be adopted. So whatever has to be done, it should be done early, and the treatment, if done early, can confine or cure the disease whatsoever.
Well, thank you so much, Shri Dungalji, for joining us on the program. And I think it's absolutely incredible to hear from the minister about how this has changed, women's healthcare there in Sikkim. Thank you so much for joining us on the program and sharing that experience. And hopefully we'll see more states and, a central program as well inspired by Sikkim's experience. Sikkim's leadership in HPV vaccination is truly commendable. Their journey offers valuable lessons for other states. Now we shift our focus to Bihar, where Shri Mangal Pandey, the health minister, tells us about their progressive step of providing free HPV vaccination for girls between the ages of 9 and 14 and their strategies for implementation.
Shri Mangal Pandey ji, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद. बिहार वो स्टेट है जिन्होंने एचपीवी वैक्सीन फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट लड़कियों के लिए जो 9 से 14 साल के उम्र के बीच हैं उनके लिए इंट्रोड्यूस किया है. क्या आप हमें बता सकते हैं कि प्लान इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए आप क्या प्लान कर रहे हैं और कितने डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में?
नमस्कार. ये एचपीवी वैक्सीन देने का निर्णय बिहार की सरकार ने अपनी कैबिनेट की बैठक में माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में किया है. और ये निर्णय करने वाला इस प्रकार का बिहार देश का पहला राज्य है जिसने ये निर्णय किया कि एचपीवी वैक्सीन अपने राज्य के बच्चियों को, किशोरियों को हम मुफ्त में देंगे. और ये पूरे राज्य में लगभग 1 करोड़ किशोरी हमारी ऐसी हैं जिनको हमको एचपीवी वैक्सीन देना है. और ये निर्णय हम लोगों ने इसलिए किया कि जो महिलाओं में कैंसर की बीमारी होती है उसमें लगभग 17% कैंसर जो होता है वो गर्भाशय के मुख पे, ये जो सर्वाइकल कैंसर जिसको बोलते हैं, उसके कारण होता है. और उसके बचाव के लिए ये एचपीवी का वैक्सीन दिया जाता है. तो बिहार की सरकार, स्वास्थ्य विभाग ने अपने मुख्यमंत्री श्री नीतीश कुमार जी के नेतृत्व में ये निर्णय किया कि हम अपनी बच्चियों को भविष्य में होने वाले कैंसर की इस गंभीर बीमारी से बचाने के लिए एचपीवी का वैक्सीन फ्री में देने का काम करेंगे. और ये एचपीवी वैक्सीन फ्री में देने की योजना की शुरुआत भी बिहार में हो गई है. ये बिहार के सभी 38 जिलों में एचपीवी वैक्सीन दी जाएगी. प्रारंभिक तौर पे ये जिला सदर अस्पतालों से हम इस वैक्सीनेशन के कार्यक्रम को शुरू कर रहे हैं और फिर आगे चल के हम जो CHC हमारा है, कम्युनिटी हेल्थ सेंटर, सामुदायिक स्वास्थ्य केंद्र, वहाँ तक अपने चिकित्सकों के माध्यम से हम इस HPV वैक्सीनेशन के काम को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। और इस वर्ष बिहार सरकार की कैबिनेट ने 150 करोड़ रुपए की मंजूरी इस वैक्सीनेशन के लिए दी है। तो मैं समझता हूं कि ये एक बहुत बड़ा काम हम सब लोगों ने बिहार में शुरू किया है।
कुछ पॉजिटिव्स या लर्निंग्स आप हमारे साथ, हमारे दर्शकों के साथ शेयर करना चाहेंगे जो रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया में अप्लाई किया जा सके? नहीं, मैं तो यही आग्रह करना चाहूँगा कि सभी राज्य चाहें तो इसको लागू कर सकते हैं, कोई चैलेंजेस नहीं है और कोई बहुत बड़ा आर्थिक बोझ भी नहीं पड़ता है। आर्थिक रूप से बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा राशि इसमें खर्च करना पड़ता है, ऐसी बात है। हाँ, निश्चित रूप से एक रकम तो खर्च होती है, क्योंकि बिहार एक बड़े आबादी वाला राज्य है। हमसे कम आबादी वाले राज्य ज़्यादा हैं, हमसे ज़्यादा आबादी वाला 2 ही राज्य है। तो विभिन्न राज्य सरकारें चाहें तो अपने जो स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं के ऊपर राशि खर्च करते हैं, उसी में से कुछ संसाधन यदि इसके ऊपर हम खर्च कर दें तो हम बच्चियों को भविष्य में कैंसर होने से बचा सकते हैं। और कई राज्य सरकारें हैं जो कैंसर हो जाने के बाद इलाज के लिए अपने लोगों को पैसे देती है, सहयोग करती है, सहायता करती है। तो हम प्रिवेंटिव हेल्थ पे बात करें और हम बीमारी ना हो उसी पे यदि खर्च करें, हम वो पैसा खर्च कर दे कैंसर होने से बचाव पे, तो कैंसर से भी बचाव हो जाएगा और कल होके जो कैंसर के इलाज के लिए पैसा खर्च होता है उसकी भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। तो राज्य सरकारों को केवल एक मजबूत इच्छा शक्ति के साथ निर्णय लेने की जरूरत है। बाकी ये टीकाकरण कोई बहुत तकनीकी रूप से भी जटिल काम नहीं है। तकनीकी रूप से भी सामान्य तरीके से जिस प्रकार से विभिन्न टीके दिए जाते हैं, हमारी जो ट्रेंड नर्सेज हैं उन्हीं के माध्यम से ये टीके दिए जाते हैं, चिकित्सकों की उपस्थिति में ये सब कुछ होता है। तो तकनीकी रूप से अतिरिक्त कोई इसमें काम नहीं करना है, बस एक निर्णय लेने की आवश्यकता है। बिल्कुल सही कहा, निर्णय एंड आई थिंक इच्छा जो आपने बात कही, बहुत बहुत हमारे साथ धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए मंगल पांडे जी।
As we've seen, both Sikkim and Bihar are driving transformative efforts to combat cervical cancer. But how can these state-level initiatives be scaled to achieve a national impact? More on that after this short break.
Maha Kumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
Kind attention, please. Delhi Election Metro 2025 is arriving on People's Platform. Please mind the gap. BJP or AAP, who will get to the Delhi Secretariat station?
दरवाजे बाईं तरफ खुलेंगे.
Who will Delhi voters open the victory doors for? And who will be shown the door? Can the BJP throw AAP's victory run off track? Or will it be Kejriwal's ticket to win again? Can Congress take the election metro to revival? We will track it all for you. Delhi's decision destination.
Doors will open on the left.
Stay tuned to NDTV for Mega Metro poll coverage.
Well, I'm in Altadena. This is one of the worst hit areas. When disaster strikes, NDTV World brings you exclusive on-the-ground reports straight from the heart of the action.
A neighborhood in Los Angeles that has been devastated by fire.
I just received an emergency alert extreme, which has come on my phone. Stay tuned for NDTV World's in-depth coverage as we bring you the real stories from Los Angeles. This is the Altadena area, and there are still fires, and there's a lot of smoke in the area. These houses completely gutted. This is reporting that matters only on NDTV World.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Maha Kumbh, the festival of faith.
Welcome back. Scaling up vaccination drives is essential to making HPV vaccination accessible nationwide. Up next, experts discuss the strategies, challenges and innovations that can help chart the way to counter cervical cancer and improve public health. We've been talking, during this program about the vaccination drive, how important it is. We've also spoken about how in India, we're not a society that's very reluctant to take vaccines. There's a lot of awareness. There's a lot of welcoming of vaccines. But when it comes to the HPV vaccine, how do we drive that up? How do we scale it up so that we can cover more and more of our girls and women?
Thank you for inviting me. I like your action saying, drive it, So that's what we need to do, because we said awareness to action was the first phase of what we were campaigning for. Now it is accelerated action. We really need to move fast, and we know that where there's a will, there's a way, because we've already proven by the general immunization program for the children in our country and as well as the COVID. So I think like Anemia Mukta Bharat had the 3 T's, test, treat and talk. Similarly, the cervical cancer elimination also has 3 T's. It's technology, it's trust, and it's togetherness. Because kill it before it kills you is the tagline. And the immense potential for technology, for everything that has been spoken on all the panels. The demand generation, the supply. The demand, yes, there are many doctors who are great social media influencers. So we have to use their potential on this particular subject of accelerating the vaccination drives through the social media, because all said and done, the doctors influencing through the social media for that right age group, 9 to 14, most certainly is expected to work. Togetherness, as is the title of this program, it's not, one person's or one cadre's responsibility. All of us are here together. Anybody, any human being on earth, it should be their ownership and their mission to say simple things like, have you taken your HPV vaccination? And then the person who has heard this can move across and ask the concern, what is it about? Why should I take it? How should I take it? Where it's available? The cost, this, that. And together we can, get the supply chain in order. We can get the Make in India manufacturing, for example. We can bring down the cost. We can do a lot of things together.
We're talking about scaling up the vaccination program. What are the challenges that you see to this? Earlier, we heard about how maybe if we did want to vaccinate every young girl in India today, what should the government's priorities be? Of course, awareness, but what else?
In 2014, WHO gave the certificate to the Government of India about the polio elimination. We have been hearing about the polio program, the success of the polio program. In 2014, WHO gave the certificate to the Government of India about the polio elimination. In that meeting in Vigyan Bhavan, Madam Sushma Swaraj ji, she had said a very, very important thing. She had said that today, on behalf of the country, we thank the manufacturers for providing us the vaccine. We thank the health workers for ensuring that the vaccine reaches the last mile. We thank the governments at the state level and the central government for the coordination. But this program success is because of the people of India. The people of India had embraced the polio program, and that is why this program became successful. So I want to state here that for any vaccination program or in terms of any public health goods, there is an acronym, and that acronym is not a good acronym. It is called the SAD acronym. And why I say this is the letters S, A, and D come one after the other. S is supply. We need to have uninterrupted supply of vaccines, drugs, diagnostics in order to scale up. We need to ensure that the population which needs it has access, and that is the A. And once we have the access, then the demand must be generated within the community. And the demand comes from the community very automatically. Because if they find that the product is useful for them, they will embrace it. If they find that it is not useful, it will be very difficult for us to really take that forward. So I want to bring here 3 T's which have driven the vaccination program in India. If we see the vaccination program, it is driven by 3 T's. The first T is technology. Over the last 2 decades, starting from the vaccine vial monitor, which was a game changer for polio vaccines, from the EVM, the electronic vaccine management, the entire EVIN, the electronic vaccine intelligent network, down to CoWIN, which we all saw how it built trust amongst the population. All of it has been driven by technology. We need to embrace technology to drive our new vaccines, including the cervical cancer vaccine. The second T is what my friend Dr. Vivek was talking about, and I told you in the story, trust. And the third T is a very obvious T, of which we have been hearing from the beginning, teamwork. This will not be achieved by the health department alone. The education department, the Ministry of Science and Technology, the Ministry of Women and Child Development, and all the ministries, including the finance ministry, will have to work hand in hand in order to ensure that this is a teamwork that moves forward.
A unified approach to scaling vaccination drives can significantly boost the fight against cervical cancer. Now we turn to a more personal perspective and understanding the human stories behind cervical cancer. We speak to a range of women who highlight the emotional and social dimensions of the disease and its prevention.
Nancy, सबसे पहला सवाल मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी. If you can just share your journey as a survivor, आपके जो emotionally, physically, mentally, जब से आपका स्क्रीनिंग भी, डायग्नोसिस भी, ट्रीटमेंट भी, अगर आप हम सबके साथ अपनी जर्नी शेयर कर सके प्लीज़.
स्टार्टिंग में जब मेरे को पता चला, मेरी एज 31 थी, मेरे को हाई ग्रेड न्यूरोएंडोक्राइन सर्विकल कैंसर था. उस टाइम पे मैं 5 मंथ प्रेग्नेंट थी. तो धीरे धीरे मेरे को प्रॉब्लम्स होने लगी. मेरे को वाइट डिस्चार्ज की प्रॉब्लम होने लगी और ब्लीडिंग प्रॉब्लम होने लगी. हमें लगा कि बेबी की वजह से ये सब चीज़ें हो रही हैं, बट वो सब नहीं था. मेरे को कुछ और ही अंदर मतलब अबनॉर्मल डिस्चार्ज होने लगा. तो डॉक्टर ने चेक किया अंदर से, देन मेरे को पता चला कि अंदर कुछ अबनॉर्मल ग्रोथ है. बहुत शॉकिंग था हमारे लिए, मेरी फैमिली के लिए शॉकिंग था. तो मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा था हम लोगों को. पहले मैंने सर्विकल कैंसर के बारे में कभी मैंने सुना भी नहीं था. मेरी फैमिली में किसी को कैंसर नहीं था. उस टाइम पे मेरा फैमिली सपोर्ट, मेरा हस्बैंड ने काफ़ी सपोर्ट किया. उस टाइम पे मेरे को 29 रेडिएशन और 6 कीमोथेरेपी और 3 ब्रेकीथेरेपी दी गई, जो काफ़ी मुश्किल था मेरे लिए. मैं एकदम घबरा गई थी उस चीज़ से, मेरे को पता नहीं चल रहा था कि मेरे साथ हो क्या रहा है ये सब चीज़ें। तो अभी आई एम फाइन। काफ़ी मतलब मेरे लिए थोड़ा मुश्किल थी वो सब चीज़ें हैंडल करना, मैं एकदम स्ट्रेस में चली गई थी। तो मेरी फैमिली ने मेरा सपोर्ट काफ़ी अच्छा किया। उन्होंने, हस्बैंड क्या करते हैं कि इतनी बड़ी बीमारी सुन के सोचते हैं कि छोड़ देते हैं, साथ छोड़ देते हैं, बट मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं था। मेरे हस्बैंड ने मेरा पूरा सपोर्ट किया, मेरे इन-लॉज़ ने मेरा सपोर्ट किया, जिसकी वजह से आज मैं यहाँ पे आप लोगों के सामने अपनी जर्नी शेयर कर पा रही हूँ। मैंने अपने 5 मंथ बेबी को अडॉप्ट कर मतलब खो दिया उस चीज़ की वजह से। आगे भी मेरी फैमिली ने सबसे पहले मेरे को चुना, और वो अब मैं आगे प्रेग्नेंट नहीं हो सकती हूँ, फिर भी उन्होंने ये बोला कि हमें कोई और नहीं, बस तुम चाहिए। मतलब मेरी फैमिली सपोर्ट मेरी काफ़ी सपोर्टिव है, उनकी वजह से ही मैं आज आप लोगों के सामने हूँ।
You've devoted, many decades. I mean, your work has been on the elimination of cervical cancer. What are the most important findings, and how do you think women can prioritize? We've been talking about reproductive health, that we don't want to talk about it. How do you think that shift can happen, and what have you really found in all these years?
Now I think a lot more is spoken about cervical cancer these days than was before, but it's probably still not enough. And the important thing to note is that it is such a tragedy because it is preventable more than any cancer. When we talk of breast cancer, we talk of early detection. But in cervical cancer, it's the true prevention, because we know that it's caused by an infectious agent. As we have in the case of liver cancer, we have hepatitis, so here we have HPV. And we know that we can prevent that by a vaccine. We know that we have a long precancerous phase which we can detect. I'm really grateful to Nancy and Vanna for sharing the stories, and Nancy has told us how she was symptomatic, but actually if you go into the precancers, it's not even symptomatic, and you can detect it at that stage, treat it, and never reach the stage of cancer. So it is a tragedy, undoubtedly, if this sort of thing happens. And the important thing also to realize is it's a pyramid, because a lot of women will get HPV. They feel guilty sometimes. We heard about how husbands may accuse them of maybe having got them from some outside relationships. But the fact of the matter is that 85% of women and 90% of men are going to get this infection at some point in their lives if they are not going to be vaccinated. And it is only about 10% of them who will not be able to clear the infection, but at this point in time, science cannot tell you which 10%. So 10% will continue to have the infection, and out of them a proportion will develop the precancer, and then they will go on a very small proportion to cancer. We do worry about cancer, but I can say to you that the precancer is no less a problem. And we see, particularly now with the increasing age at marriage and childbearing, and then they go to the IVF clinic and they're diagnosed with a precancer. And now the whole thing is shifted from being a discussion about how they will get pregnant and have the baby, it becomes a discussion of how they will manage the precancer. And not everyone is as lucky as Nancy has been. And there are many relationships that cannot stand this stress, and they break up, and there's mental problems and guilt and so many things, depression and other things that they go through. So to me, it seems important not just to worry about that endpoint of cancer, but to worry about the quality of life with all the previous stages, to worry about not getting the precancer, to worry about not getting that infection at all and having to deal with that positive report.
Absolutely.
Hearing these stories reminds us why the fight against cervical cancer is so critical. By combining personal advocacy with state-led action, we can bring about lasting change. Together with awareness, action and compassion, we can create a future free from this disease. Stay tuned to NDTV for more such impactful stories. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to the best of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
For 2 decades, NDTV has been a window to the world's greatest thinkers, leaders, Nobel laureates and stars at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
From Bill Gates to Shakira to Randy Zuckerberg to
For the latest in the Saif Ali Khan stabbing case, the accused has been sent to 5-day police custody. Mumbai police, in the meanwhile, has confirmed that the accused is a Bangladeshi citizen. Politics erupts over the accused's Bangladeshi origin. Ajit Pawar says that the accused reached Mumbai via Kolkata. The TMCS says that the illegal Bangladeshi immigration is a failure of the central government. Delhi Chief Minister Atishi accuses BJP of sending goons to kill Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal. BJP leader Parvesh Verma, he responds saying that Kejriwal's arrogance has angered the people of Delhi. A massive fire breaks out in the Maha Kumbh. Several tents have caught fire near the Shastri Bridge. The Prime Minister spoke to Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. This fire was caused due to a cylinder blast. The Israel-Hamas ceasefire begins. Israel gets the names of 3 hostages who are set to be released on the first day. And the world's elite gather at the Davos for the World Economic Forum. NDTV brings you extensive coverage from the ground. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shab. The Bandra court on Sunday remanded the arrested accused to 5-day police custody in connection with the attack on Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan. Now, while demanding accused 14-day custody, the police said that the attacker is ruthless as he stabbed Saif Ali Khan several times. They also need to collect more evidence in this particular case. The accused, remember, was arrested by the Mumbai police from Thane. Mumbai police also said that there is primary evidence to believe that the accused is a Bangladeshi. It does not have valid Indian documents. There have been some seizures too, including his birth certificate, that proves that he is a Bangladeshi national, is what the police said. In fact, the police also added that Muhammad Shariful Islam Shehzad, a 30-year-old man, had changed his name to Vijay Das after entering India in order to hide his Bangladeshi origins. He came to Mumbai 5 to 6 months ago. He stayed in Mumbai for a few days and then in the vicinity of Mumbai as well. He was working in a housekeeping agency.
The police custody was not required as all the weapon and everything has been recovered by the investigation officer. Only forensic report and other things are there. It has to be taken care by the investigation officer by the FSL report, not by the custody. Just because it is a Saif Ali Khan, the matter has been hyped and he has been extended to police custody. International issue नहीं है. वो एक यंग बच्चा है, उसको स्केपगोट किया गया है। अभी वो बांग्लादेशी है, ओरिजिन ये नहीं है, वो अभी तक कंफर्म ये नहीं है। उनके पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस नहीं है, कोई इंटरनेशनल इशू नहीं है और कोई अटेम्प्ट टू मर्डर नहीं है।
एक आरोपी को उसमें अरेस्ट किया गया है। उस आरोपी का नाम मोहम्मद शरीफुल इस्लाम शहजाद है। मोहम्मद शरीफुल इस्लाम शहजाद, एज 30 इयर्स। अभी तक के इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये समझ में आया है कि ये आरोपी चोरी के इरादे से उस घर में उसने एंटर किया था और उस समय पर ये इंसिडेंस हुआ था। इस एक्यूज को कोर्ट में पेश किया जाएगा और पुलिस कस्टडी की रिक्वेस्ट की जाएगी और उसके बाद आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जाएगा। एप्रोप्रिएट, इस केस में एप्रोप्रिएट सेक्शंस की वाड़ की गई है और उस हिसाब से आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जा रहा है।
किन सेक्शंस को पासपोर्ट एक्ट में या फिर
पासपोर्ट एक्ट के रेलेवेंट सेक्शंस में रेलेवेंट सेक्शंस इसमें अप्लाई किए गए हैं। उसकी डिटेल्स हम प्रेस नोट से आपसे शेयर कर रहे हैं। ही डजंट हैव इंडियन वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट as of now we think that this is his first time entrance at that residence.
And my colleagues Radhika Ramaswamy and Abir Adhar, they have been tracking this story and the latest developments as far as the Saif Ali Khan stabbing case is concerned. Radhika, to you first. The police has had asked for a 14-day custody. They've got 5-day police custody of the accused. What are the likely charges that the accused is set to face here?
You know, as far as the charges are concerned, it's already mentioned in the FIR, which includes attempt to murder and, of course, charges and sections with respect to robbery as well as trespassing. So these are the sections that have been added in the FIR. Now, if we were to talk about the entire case and what really transpired in the court today, yes, 5-day custody has been given as far as this accused is concerned. 14 days custody was sought by the Mumbai police before the court. The police, they're saying that there could be more than that meets the eye, so therefore they need to do thorough investigation and questioning of the accused. They feel that it can't be that this guy did not know that this residence was of Saif Ali Khan's. So is there another outsider's involvement, another person's involvement? Was there anybody else helping this accused? That is something the Mumbai police would like to find out. And also as to how he planned this entire move. Mumbai police feels that this was a well-planned attack, a well-planned attempt to rob Saif Ali Khan's residence. Also, they want to gather more evidence with respect to this case, which involves, the clothing that he was wearing at the time of the attack, which is missing right now, and a piece of knife is also missing. So there is some crucial piece of evidence Mumbai police would like to gather and also would like to understand what the larger conspiracy could have been, which the Mumbai police feel is more than what meets the eye. So we'll have to wait and see what will come out of investigations in the next few days. But today before the court, the lawyer for the accused reiterated that, this is an exaggerated case. This has been blown out of proportion because there is a star involved, there's a film star involved, and that there is nothing to prove that this man is a Bangladeshi immigrant, however, illegal immigrant. But Mumbai police, they're very categorically stating that he had all invalid documents with respect to India, and all the documents that he had proved that he was a citizen of Bangladesh and had come here, entered India illegally, and he's been staying in Bombay for the last 5 to 6 months. So defense, they're stating that this has been exaggerated and blown out of proportion, and there is no documentary evidence, and that the custody is not required. But in the next 5 days is going to be crucial for Mumbai police, as they will try to unearth more evidence in connection to the case. And we will then know if this was just a simple robbery attempt. More to this.
All right. In fact, I'm also joined by Abir Adhar, who has been tracking this story from outside the legal. Firstly, Abir, an update on what condition at the moment, what have the doctors said, and also this raises a lot of question marks as far as the security of high-profile people in posh areas of Mumbai is concerned.
Absolutely, and it is terrifying for Bandra people what is happening, and this is not the first case that has happened. Even the gunshots outside Salman's house have raised questions of lawlessness in Bandra. But where it concerned to Saif Ali Khan's health, he is stable and he is doing fine right now. Last we spoke to the doctor, they said he has been moved from the ICU to the special ward, and he's on a normal diet. They made him walk and he can walk, and they have said there's no risk of paralysis at all, but there is a risk of infection because he has got 6 wounds, and one of the major wounds is of course near the spine. The spinal fluid leakage happened because the 2.5-inch knife that was inside his body was exactly there, because of which there was a spinal fluid leak that happened, but it was taken care of by the neurosurgeons immediately. The moment he entered the hospital, he went into surgery. The surgery went on for 5 hours, which also included the plastic surgeons taking care of his wound in his neck and his hands. Since then, he was in the ICU overnight for one night and then shifted out. He's doing absolutely fine. His family has been visiting him regularly, while the doctor said the visitors have been restricted because there's a chance of infection. Today we have seen Arjun Kapoor come in. Now we just saw Amrita Arora, who is Kareena Kapoor's best friend, and they are very close family friends. Amrita Arora just walked in. The kids, Taimur and Jay, for the first time since the incident happened, came to the hospital to meet their father, but they were there around only for 20 minutes. Sharmila ji, who has been here since morning, left in the evening today, but in and out, the family members are constantly by his side, and the doctors are hoping he'll recover soon, but they have also said we cannot give you a date of discharge because it only depends upon how well he's recovering.
All right, Abhiradha, thank you very much for getting us all the latest from outside the Leelavati hospital there. In fact, I'm also currently joined by Shaina NC, a Shiv Sena leader. Ma'am, welcome to NDTV. You know, there are big question marks. Big question marks on the security of high-profile areas in Bandra. As a citizen of Mumbai, how safe do you feel considering the frequency of incidents like these?
At the outset, let me please say I have tremendous faith in Mumbai police, and what they have done yet again in this particular case is come to the logical conclusion, arrest the attacker, find out what the reason was, find out how he entered India, and find out all the hidden routes, whether it was from Bangladesh or the fact that how he landed up at Saif Ali Khan's place. I was listening to your package, and I think the audacity of the the lawyer to suggest that, oh, this case has been hyped up only because it's a celebrity is absolutely untrue. We all know that this is a case which is a freak case, which has happened due to a lapse of security, but it is nothing but a burglary and theft and needs to be viewed in totality. Our Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, Deputy Chief Ministers Eknath Ji Shinde and Ajit Pawar have all unanimously said that the attack accused came through all kinds of wrong processes, and the Maharashtra government is very certain that the access route must have been through Bengal. Having said that, it is not for us to sit on judgment. It is for the police to come up with the conclusive evidence, and that is what one will go by. But I think the motive and the charges of under the Passport Act which have been filed are absolutely correct. We have full faith in our machinery, the administration, the Mumbai police, and they have done this time and again, which is to arrest in due course, but with absolute evidence being the key. If somebody enters India illegally, and this is something that the Honorable Prime Minister has talked about on multiple occasions, which is Bangladeshis who have moved into India. And when we talk about Rohingyas and Bangladeshis, the opposition have tried to make this some human rights issue. I think the time has come to speak up unequivocally, because if this Mohammed Islam, Shehzad, whatever his name is, 31-year-old, is not some child. This is a proper plan where you work in a housekeeping agency, then you have a motive of theft. And most importantly, in this case, one has seen a lapse of even private security, which is an area of concern, because in high-rise buildings, be it Bandra or any suburb in Mumbai, or for that matter, any Mumbai building per se, I think the fact that you have this kind of evidence coming out that CCTV cameras and security lapses are there makes us want to take this issue even more seriously.
All right, Shana NC, thank you very much for sharing your views on this entire incident and development. Shifting our focus to our other news, a tragic news coming in for the Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker, as her maternal grandmother Savitri Devi and uncle Yudhveer Singh, they have passed away in a road accident in Haryana's Charkhi Dadri. This accident occurred on Mahendragarh bypass road when the scooter they were riding collided with a Brezza car. Unfortunately, both the victims have died on the spot. This incident, it happened around 9 a.m. Today amidst foggy weather conditions. The car driver fled from the scene and the police are currently investigating this case. A massive fire broke out in the Maha Kumbh Mela area in Prayagraj due to a cylinder explosion in a tent in sector 1819. The blast occurred near the camps by Shastri Bridge. Fortunately, as of now, there are no reported casualties. As per the police, fire is under control now. The Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath, he also in fact visited the fire site. The Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, he also spoke to the Chief Minister and took a stock of the situation.
ये हमारे रेलवे पुल के नीचे जो है आज लगभग आधा घंटा पहले 4 बजे के आसपास सूचना मिली कि कुछ एक सिलेंडर फटने की सूचना मिली। उस सूचना पे तत्कालिक हमारे जितने फायर सर्विसेज के लोग हैं वो तत्कालिक पहुंचे। तब तक जो है कुछ जो है हमारे हट्स में कॉटेजेस में आग लग चुकी थी। उसको रोका गया। अभी तक से कोई भी हताहत की सूचना नहीं मिली है। सभी आग को रोक लिया गया है। अभी जो है जहाँ से गर्माहट थी प्लाई में, जहाँ से धुआं निकल रहा था, उसको बुझाने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है।
4:08 पर आग लगी और 4:11 पर यहाँ फायर सर्विस के टेंडर्स, फायर फाइटर्स स्थल पे पहुँच गए थे। आग पर अगले 20-21 मिनट के अंदर काबू पा लिया गया। कुल मिलाकर के 20-22 मिनट के अंदर आग को बुझा दिया गया था। कुछ घायलों की शिनाख्त की गई है। 100 के आसपास व्यक्ति थे, उनको सबको सुरक्षित निकाला गया है पुलिस और प्रशासन के द्वारा, फायर सर्विस के द्वारा।
ये यहाँ पर मोरी रोड पर दोनों पुल के समीप गीता प्रेस का एक कैंप लगा हुआ था। यहाँ पर पूस की झोपड़ियाँ बनाई गई थी इन लोगों द्वारा। ये ट्रेडिशनली पूस की झोपड़ियाँ बना के रहते हैं और दुर्भाग्यवश यहाँ पर ये आग लग गई थी। इसमें करीब 70 से 80 पूस की झोपड़ियाँ और 7-8 टेंट की जलने की सूचना है और कोई भी हताहत नहीं है। सबको समय से निकाल लिया गया और आग बुझा के काबू पा लिया गया।
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं।
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top brand.
Get it free with single ID.
Kind attention, please. Delhi Election Metro 2025 is arriving on People's Platform. Please mind the gap. BJP or AAP, who will get to the Delhi Secretariat station?
दरवाजे बाईं तरफ खुलेंगे.
Who will Delhi voters open the victory doors for? And who will be shown the door? Can the BJP throw AAP's victory run off track? Or will it be Kejriwal's ticket to win again? Can Congress take the election metro to revival? We will track it all for you. Delhi's decision destination.
Doors will open on the left.
Stay tuned to NDTV for Mega Metro poll coverage.
Well, I'm in Altadena. This is one of the worst hit areas. When disaster strikes, NDTV World brings you exclusive on-the-ground reports straight from the heart of the action.
A neighborhood in Los Angeles that has been devastated by fire.
I just received an emergency alert extreme, which has come on my phone. Stay tuned for NDTV World's in-depth coverage as we bring you the real stories from Los Angeles. This is the Altadena area, and there are still fires, and there's a lot of smoke in the area. These houses completely gutted. This is reporting that matters only on NDTV World.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred
Welcome back. After the research firm Hindenburg announced its shutdown, Nate Anderson, the founder of Hindenburg Research, is facing allegations of collaborating with hedge funds in order to create targeted reports against companies. A Canadian portal reported that court documents filed in an Ontario court reveal connections between Hindenburg and hedge funds. Moez Kassab, the head of the hedge fund Anson, stated in that document that his firm shared research with various sources, including Hindenburg's Nate Anderson. The allegations suggest that Hindenburg may have worked with Anson to create a report, potentially indicating a conflict of interest. The timing of the announcement raises questions, especially given the firm's history of publishing reports that significantly impact the companies who have been targeted. Now, what can be the repercussions? The preparation of bearish reports without disclosure of participation can be charged as securities fraud by the US Securities and Exchange Commission. Meanwhile, Jay Anant Dehadrai, he has reacted. He has said that court documents from Canada suggest that Anderson conspired with Canada's Anson funds, providing them with early drafts of Hindenburg's report. This amounts to market manipulation, insider trading, as it would have allowed hedge funds to profit from anticipated stock movements triggered by Hindenburg's reports. In fact, further question, who profited from their fake report on Adani stock in India? And the Adani Group, in collaboration with Gorakhpur headquartered Gita Press, has distributed free copies of Aarti Sangrah to the Maha Kumbh devotees. As part of spiritual Mahayagna, Adani Group has offered 1 crore copies of Aarti Sangrah free of cost to the devotees. The book, a collection of devotional hymns or Aartis, is published by Gita Press. Earlier, Adani Group Chairman Gautam Adani met the trustees and officials of the iconic Gita Press and had promised to gift it to the devotees at Kumbh.
यहाँ पर एक अपनापन, एक अपना घर जैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं। तो अदानी जी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये बहुत ही एक सुनहरा अवसर था जो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरह से लोगों की सेवा करने में बिताया है और बहुत अच्छा महसूस होता है। सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, यहाँ आकर ही नहीं, मतलब कोई अपना है जो इतना सोच सकता है दूसरों के बारे में, ये सोच करके बहुत बहुत खुशी मिली है। धन्यवाद।
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to the best of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
For 2 decades, NDTV has been a window to the world's greatest thinkers, leaders, Nobel laureates and stars at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
From Bill Gates to Shakira to Randy Zuckerberg to top ministers to what is often the biggest story, India, a global economic powerhouse. Conversations around our greatest challenges from AI to wars to sustainability. Join us, NDTV's Vishnu Shom and me, Neeraj Shah, as we engage with the world's finest. NDTV at Davos from January 20th to January 25th.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns, tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to this very special conversation. Let me share some statistics with you. Over 300 hours of negotiations, 250 bilateral meetings, an hourly update to the Prime Minister, and much, much more went into the New Delhi Declaration, the biggest document that showcased India's success of the G20 presidency. The Sherpa is here and he has shared all those insightful details in his book, How India Scaled G20. Mr. Amitabh Khan, thank you so much for your time here. The inside story of the G20 presidency must be told, and who better to chronicle it than you, sir? And you have spoken about the exchange that you had with the Prime Minister an hour before the G20 began, his urgency, and also why do you think India had to declare that there is a declaration on the day one itself, on the opening day itself?
Yeah. So, first and foremost, we had taken over the presidency under very difficult circumstances. It was the post-COVID era. We had seen vast number of people across the world going below poverty line. A lot of people had lost their jobs. There was a challenge of climate. There was huge challenges on food, fuel, fertilizer. And you had a war going on in Russia and Ukraine. And the challenge was that in multilateral discussions, you need a full consensus. Even if one country opposes it, the agreement falls apart. So consensus and full consensus is literally the key to success. Now, Prime Minister wanted India's G20 presidency to be very ambitious, to be very action-oriented and also very decisive under these very complex and difficult circumstances. Now, we had run into a very severe problem because the Bali paras had all failed, and throughout the whole year, we could not get an agreement in any of the ministerial. All ministerials had ended up in a deadlock because of the Russia-Ukraine para on which everybody had failed. I mean, it's not just the United Nations, the Security Council, every multilateral forum had failed, and throughout the whole year, we had failed. And the chances of our failure were very high, and it was very important to clinch it. This one particular para, it's not the entire document, one particular para, the Russia-Ukraine crisis, we had to take all the Sherpas out of Delhi, 70 kilometers away from Delhi. And when we started negotiating, we were doing it on a single laptop. We did not allow any mobile to get in because a single photograph of what was being discussed would have wrecked the entire document. And therefore, that one particular para took us 300 hours of negotiation and 250 bilaterals. That particular para failed 16 times. The 17th time it succeeded. And it succeeded because we were very bold, we were very gutsy, we were very courageous, and we told them either you take it or you leave it. If you don't...
You told this to whom? Russians?
To all the Sherpas.
Okay.
And we said, because by that time we knew everybody's red line. And we said, you either take it or leave it. And if you don't take it, then India will never be a part of G20. The Prime Minister had said this very clearly to me, that please tell them that if it's also the responsibility of all other countries to arrive at a consensus. And if G20 fails after United Nations has failed, then India will not be a part of G20. India would rather work with BRIC, work with IPSA, rather than working with G20. So I had to tell them that either you take it now, after so many hours of negotiation, after I've taken care of all your concern in the draft. If you don't accept it, then India will not be a part of G20. India would rather work with BRIC and IPSA. And, you know, I said, and I walked out of the meeting, and right after that, in my room right here, the Russian deputy minister and the Sherpa walked in and they wanted a line on sanctions. I said that is not feasible, that's not possible because G7 will never accept it. They kept threatening and they said we will not be a part of this. I said in that case, I discussed with the external affairs minister and I had to tell them that in that case, we will invite Zelensky to be the next speaker after.
Yes, you write about it. Yes.
I write about this.
Yes.
And, you know, 15, 20 minutes later, Russia agreed. So we sealed Russia. In the morning, by 4 o'clock, I had the consent of all the G7 countries except the United States of America. Then in the morning at about 8 a.m., the Prime Minister came to inspect the Bharat Mandapam and he asked me, what's the status? And I said, sir, not yet. It's not yet clinched. And I started telling him the details. And the Prime Minister said, told me that I'm not interested in procedures and all the details of this, but get me a consensus. He was absolutely clear, get me a consensus. So after he had left, I phoned up the American Sherpa, Mike Pyle, and I asked him that, told him that all other countries have agreed. And he said, I've yet to discuss with President Biden, and I'll get back to you in 15 minutes. He got back to me in 15 minutes, and he said that he's discussed. There are two challenges with the United States. One, he said they want change of one word. So that tells you that every word, every letter matters. Yes. He said we want a change of one word. And secondly, he's told me that they want Russia and China to agree before United States agree. So I had the agreement of Russia beforehand, the previous night, but I did not have China's agreement. So I called up the Chinese Sherpa after that, and the Chinese Sherpa told me that they want one line to be completely changed, which they had agreed to earlier. So I said it's not possible. But the Chinese Sherpa said that the Prime Minister says that this line relating to the United States holding the G20 presidency in 2026, China will not accept it. It must be taken out. And if that is not taken out, we will not accept the agreement. Now, they were discussing a bilateral issue. They said that America doesn't issue visas to the Chinese, it does not issue visas to the governor of Hong Kong, etc. And therefore, this must be changed. So the leaders' summit actually started, the meeting started, and I took the American Sherpa and the Chinese Sherpa to the neighboring room and started discussion from 9:15 till about 12:30. And finally, the Chinese said we want a written legal guarantee from the United States that they'll issue visa to every single delegate that they recommend. The Americans were not willing to give a legal guarantee, and that discussion went on and on and on, and then finally I had to tell the Chinese that the word ensure is better than the guarantee, and I'm a native English speaker and I can tell you go by the word ensure, go by a written letter, and we'll help you to get this. And finally, that is how we agreed, and the Americans gave a letter saying that we'll ensure that visas are issued, and that was how it was clinched. Now, we went back and told the Prime Minister that we've got the agreement now. The challenge in multilateral forums is, as we've seen in Bali and now we've seen in Brazil, that issues tend to get opened up later. Now that we have stitched it all together, brought G7, all emerging markets, Russia, China, Saudi, Turkey, all together and got everybody's agreement, we wanted to clinch it at that particular point of time. So this issue was discussed with the Prime Minister, all other leaders, it was discussed informally, and the Prime Minister announced it, and everyone clapped, and it got a massive applause at that particular point of time.
And Mr. Kant, before, many had said, many foreign policy experts were of the opinion that New Delhi declaration was a distant dream, that it is not a possibility. Why do you think it happened?
When we announced it, there were all these foreign correspondents, all the top foreign correspondents were there, and they had already prepared the story that the New Delhi leaders summit has failed. Their story was ready till we told, it was announced on the Twitter that this has already been passed, and they couldn't believe it. And when we went in for the press conference, all of them said that it's unbelievable that you've achieved success, because we achieved consensus on 83 paras, 7,000 words. Our outcomes were about 112, whereas in Bali there were just about 48, and the previous summit there were just about 40. So ours was very ambitious, very inclusive, very decisive, very action-oriented, and I think probably the most ambitious G20 ever held in its history.
And how did a career bureaucrat achieve these hard negotiations, which usually diplomats do?
So, well, I had the advantage of having been the CEO of Niti Aayog. So many of these issues which are complex, climate, women-led development, and which is another story of women-led development, and so on, and sustainable development goals and developmental issues, I was quite familiar with. But I must credit my team. I had an excellent team of Abhay Thakur, of Nag Naidu, Ashish, and Inam. All of them were excellent diplomats, and all of them were top class. So I had the support of everyone, and I think it was great teamwork. And more than anything else, it was the stature of the Prime Minister. He delegated us a lot, and because of that, we were very bold, we were gutsy, and actually, if you look at the process of negotiations throughout, we were pleading, we were cajoling, but we were also threatening, we were intimidating, we were being very tough. India's negotiations were pretty ruthless and brutal towards the end. Very, very, if I look back and say we were very, very ruthless in our negotiations, and that's why. And that happened because we had the full backing of our leader. The challenge for a Sherpa is that he has to take his leader on top of the Mount Everest. And, he was the leader, I was only a Sherpa. So if the leader doesn't have broad shoulders, he doesn't have a stature, if he's not strong enough, if he's not bold and gutsy, it's impossible. So I could steer many things because I had the confidence that what I would do, I'll get his full support. And I've been sending him a situation report on a regular basis. Not once was I questioned on anything. So I exercised full freedom, I had all the courage because of my leader.
Mr. Kant, you write that it was not just about hosting a successful summit, but it was about leveraging it as a catalyst for India's own transformation. India had to send this message to the world at a time when the world was divided like never before. The divisions were sharp. You had life conflicts in the backdrop as well. And then you managed a successful G20 summit.
Right in the beginning, when I was asked to become the G20 Sherpa, the Prime Minister told me that you have to do this presidency in a very, very different manner. Because in every country, there are, G20 meetings are held in the capital city.
Yes.
So the Prime Minister said that you have to take it to every state of India, every union territory, and you have to convert this into a people's movement, a Jan Andolan, and involve schools and colleges. So his ambition was very different. And he called a meeting of the chief ministers and the governors, where he made me do a presentation. And it was just to tell everybody along. And I must say, as a consequence of his leadership, every state, every union territory, it's a great example of cooperative federalism. Everyone participated very vigorously, and it helped us to promote the soft power of India by, promoting the states' brands. So the states were promoting their culture, their art forms, their cuisine, and they were promoting their one district, one product in every meeting. So we could display Rajasthan, Kerala, Andaman, Lakshadweep, Northeast, all of them were displayed. I mean, we really used this opportunity to market India in a very big way. And, so it was very differently done. And he wanted the content to be very ambitious. So that was really the tough job, that in the midst of all these conflicts, and you had other challenges. China saying right from the beginning, we will not accept Vasudev Kutumbakam. We will not accept women-led development. We will not accept, lifestyle for sustainability. So our ability to bring China, our ability to bring Saudi on a range of issues, including women-led development, our ability to bring Turkey, and our ability to bring Russia, all that was largely due to the stature of the Prime Minister.
And Mr. Kant, many say that the success of the democratic exercise which followed in Jammu and Kashmir was that Jammu and Kashmir became part of that integrated showcase during the cultural diversity theme, which was which loomed large during the entire G20 summit. And Srinagar and all those constituencies saw record voter turnout during Lok Sabha polls. Among multiple cities which you have spoken about, which city do you think particularly embraced G20 summits in the way you would have wanted?
Oh, Srinagar was remarkable. I mean, Srinagar was just spectacular. The people came out, every single country came and participated. Imagine, every single country participated in that. And the people came out, and the delegates walked around Dal Lake. The city had been done up. The cultural show was phenomenal. I think Kashmir was a remarkable success story. So was Andaman. So was Lakshadweep. So was Meghalaya. So was Nagaland. Every single state of India was a remarkable, unique experience. The bigger states, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Kerala. I mean, people loved it everywhere, from the backwaters of Kerala to the forts of Rajasthan, to the islands of India, to Kashmir and Northeast. Everyone embraced it, every school, every college. I mean, we had every single college participating in an essay competition or a debate or a model G20 debate and discussion. It was just phenomenal, the movement.
And this kind of meticulous planning and coordination requires much more, one would say. What went into it? Because when you conceptualize G20 as a Jan Andolan, as Prime Minister would have wanted it, why make it a Jan Andolan? I mean, was it that important moment for India? Almost like in which, in diplomatic space, it would be defined as India pre-G20 or India post-G20 summit?
See, it's very important from a diplomatic perspective, because all these multilateral forums, the pen is always wielded.
Yes.
The draft is always written by the developed world. This was amongst the rare instances where India got the opportunity to draft and speak the language of the global south. And therefore, if you look at the New Delhi leaders' declaration, it speaks the language of the global south. India brought in African Union and made it a member of G20 and made it G21. The Prime Minister wrote to all the leaders of the world saying African Union must be made a member because that will make it more inclusive. So India, before India, G20 represented only 70% of the global population. Today, it represents almost 84% of the global population, thanks to our ability to bring African Union as a member of G20. So we spoke the language of the global south. The entire technology transformation that has taken place in the world has been because of big tech in the United States, Tencent, Alibaba in China. But during the G20, the definition and the principle of digital public infrastructure as being open source, open API, globally interoperable was accepted by the whole world. And therefore, what you will see in the coming years is this model of development going forward to the global south. It took us 1 year of hard work to make everybody accept it, including United States of America accepted the concept, the principle, the definition of digital public infrastructure. And that, to my mind, or look at women-led development.
Yes.
The United Nations terminology was women empowerment. According to the UN, it will take 132 years to achieve equality with women. None of us have 132 years. And therefore, the whole pitch for women-led development. It took us a lot of huge effort, but eventually we got all the countries on board on this. And that required a huge amount of work at home, bilaterally, negotiating with countries, taking them on board. All this we managed to do.
India's G20 is also being seen, as you write in the book, that India's approach was very different from the way other countries had approached. What was the need for this?
This was necessary because India wanted to demonstrate that it could be ambitious. It could yet, we are a $4 trillion economy. We are growing at 8%. We are the 5th largest economy in the world. We will be the 3rd largest economy by 27 end, overtaking Germany and Japan. Why should India not be ambitious? Why should India not speak the language of the global south? Why should India not demonstrate to the world its ability to deliver a very different G20? It was necessary for the domestic audience as well, because the domestic audience had seen the Commonwealth Games earlier, and the Commonwealth Games earlier had left a lot to be desired. So we wanted to show that India is capable of delivering a perfectly executed G20 throughout by taking it to all the states of India.
And as you say, it was a defining moment in the country's emergence as a global leader, and it marked a significant shift in India's engagement with the world.
Absolutely.
Was that the reason why you could do the kind of engagement that you did?
So the engagement could be done.
The hard bargaining, as you say, a bit of even threats.
I think we could do this because as I write in the book in another chapter on leadership and action and what I learned from the Prime Minister, I think he had traveled extensively during this period. He went to the ASEAN meeting just before this summit. His personal equation with many of the leaders was very good, excellent. And everybody, if you look back, I think one of the main reasons was that the United States also wanted India to succeed. They negotiated in the national interest, but in the end they said, we want India to succeed. We had challenges with Canada, but they told Canada that India must succeed. Many other issues, even with reference to China, all the emerging markets told China that this is a global South summit, China must fall in line. And therefore, our ability to bring all the global South together, one of the key reasons why we succeeded was because we weren't alone. Brazil, Indonesia, Argentina, Mexico, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, all worked as a team with India. And that, to my mind, is a critical lesson for the future. That whatever we do, the global South must work in partnership, and India must work in partnership with the global South.
Mr. Kant, there is an ongoing debate which is going on in the country right now with regards to work hours.
Yeah.
And it has been started by multiple veterans of titans of business in India. Yeah. But one comment which was made by the L&T boss with regards to 90 hours work week, and also he should not spend too much time watching or looking at his wife. It has got reactions. What do you think about the work hours, and how many hours do you work yourself?
Well, I slog it out. I believe in slogging it out. I believe in hard work. I truly believe that if India is to become a developed nation by 2047, India, there are very few countries in the world, Japan post-World War II, they were working hard. Korea was working hard when it was growing. China worked hard for 3 decades. If India is to get out of the middle income trap, Indians must work hard, but they also must have a clear outcome. Working hard doesn't mean that you won't have a work-life balance. All Indians must be very clear that very few countries have been able to grow at 9 to 10% per annum year after year without working hard. So I know Mr. Subramaniam very well. He's a top-class CEO. He's someone who's got a stellar record. He's delivered as the CEO of L&T, and he was just trying to inspire and motivate his team. He was telling them that please work hard so that we can deliver our projects before time. Now that's been twisted out of context to my mind, and I am a strong believer that India needs to work hard, India needs to have clear outcomes. India also needs to maintain a work-life balance, and that work-life balance will actually come from working hard.
But working hard doesn't mean working extra hours.
No, you have to have outcomes. So all that he's telling his team is that we have these projects to deliver. These are all hardcore infrastructure projects
to be delivered.
You work for 90 hours
a
week.
week.
Work and deliver them before time, much before time, that's it. But to my mind, many of these issues are raised by people who do not realize the significance and importance of what India needs to do to become a developed nation by 2047. It's a tough job. It's not easy. You have to improve your infrastructure. You have to improve your learning outcome. You have to improve your health outcomes. You need to push on your exports. These are all very challenging things. It's not an easy task. And therefore, the country must rally around to not merely working hard, but define its clear outcomes that we want. PM has set an outcome, and that outcome is that we must become a developed nation by 2047. What does it mean? Your GDP must grow 9 times. Your per capita income must grow 8 times. Your manufacturing has to grow 16 times in this period. That can't be done without very, very hard work with defined outcomes.
Okay. My last question to you. What was one moment during your G20 Sherpa tenure that you felt overwhelmed?
When everything had failed, we really felt that it'll be impossible. It was about 12:30 in the night. The leaders had already come in. And when we called the Sherpas for the final round and we said that this is the final draft, take it or leave it. And my Prime Minister has seen the document and he says it's perfectly fine. And we said that if you don't take it, we will walk out of G20. That was the toughest moment. That was a make or break moment. And it was really tough. It was ruthless. I said this and I walked out of the room. And I didn't want to get into a detailed discussion, which we had done already for many, many hours. I came out. And to my mind, that sent shock waves to the other Sherpa, and they realized that we were being very, very serious about it. And that's why many of them fell in line.
So you mean business?
We mean business.
Yes.
India means business. The Prime Minister means business.
All right, Mr. Kant, thank you so much. And to the viewers, this is the book where Amitabh Kant brings out very, very fascinating details of what were the talks, the negotiations, and also some hard bargaining that India did to ensure that the New Delhi Declaration in September last year actually sees the light of the day. Thanks so much for watching.
Cashback has flow, करते नहीं impress. Life would easy, कितना कुछ free, only with single ID. ये भी free, वो भी free, कितना कुछ free, only with single ID. Get it free with single ID. कितने सारे apps हैं मुझसे जुड़े, brands मेरे पास है सबसे बड़े. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Only with single ID. Get it free with single ID.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn rewards with top brand.
Get it free with single ID.
Kind attention, please. Delhi Election Metro 2025 is arriving on People's Platform.
Please mind the gap.
BJP or AAP, Who will get to the Delhi Secretariat station?
दरवाजे बाईं तरफ खुलेंगे.
Who will Delhi voters open the victory doors for? And who will be shown the door? Can the BJP throw AAP's victory run off track? Or will it be Kejriwal's ticket to win again? Can Congress take the election metro to revival? We will track it all for you. Delhi's decision destination.
Doors will open on the left.
Stay tuned to NDTV for mega metro poll coverage.
Well, I'm in Altadena. This is one of the worst hit areas. When disaster strikes, NDTV World brings you exclusive on-the-ground reports straight from the heart of the action.
A neighborhood in Los Angeles that has been devastated by fire.
I just received an emergency alert extreme, which has come on my phone. Stay tuned for NDTV World's in-depth coverage as we bring you the real stories from Los Angeles. This is the Altadena area, and there are still fires, and there's a lot of smoke in the area. These houses completely gutted. This is reporting that matters.
Saif Ali Khan stabbing case, accused sent to 5-day police custody. Mumbai police confirms the accused is a Bangladeshi national. Politics over, accuses Bangladeshi origins. Ajit Pawar says accused reached Mumbai via Kolkata. TMZ says illegal Bangladeshi immigration, failure of the central government. Delhi Chief Minister Atishi accuses BJP of sending goons to kill Arvind Kejriwal. BJP leader Parvesh Sharma responds says Kejriwal's arrogance angers people. Fire break out at the Maha Kumbh. Several tents caught fire near the Shastri Bridge. Prime Minister speaks to Yogi Adityanath, the Chief Minister. World's elite gather at Davos for the World Economic Forum. NDTV brings you an extensive coverage from the ground. The Bandra court on Sunday remanded the arrested accused to 5-day police custody in connection with the attack on Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan. While remanding the accused 14-day police custody, the police had said the attacker is ruthless as he stabbed Saif several times. We need him in custody to collect more evidence. The accused was arrested by Mumbai police from Thane. Mumbai police said there is primary evidence to believe that the accused is a Bangladeshi national. He does not have a valid Indian document. There have been some seizures, including his birth certificate, that prove that he is a Bangladeshi national. The police added, Mohammad Sariful Islam Shahzad, a 30-year-old man, has changed his name to Vijay Das after entering India to hide his Bangladeshi origins. He came to Mumbai 5 to 6 months ago. He stayed in Mumbai for a few days and then in the vicinity of Mumbai and was working in a housekeeping agency.
The police custody was not required as all the weapon and everything has been recovered by the investigation officer. Only forensic report and other things are there. It has to be taken care by the investigation officer by the FSL report, not by the custody. Just because it is a Saif Ali Khan, the matter has been hyped and he has been extended to police custody. International issue नहीं है, वो एक यंग बच्चा है, उसको स्केपगोट किया गया है. अभी वो बांग्लादेशी है ओरिजिन, ये नहीं है, वो अभी तक कंफर्म ये नहीं है. उनके पास कोई डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस नहीं है, कोई इंटरनेशनल इशू नहीं है और कोई अटेम्प्ट टू मर्डर नहीं है.
एक आरोपी को उसमें अरेस्ट किया गया है. उस आरोपी का नाम मोहम्मद शरीफुल इस्लाम शहजाद है. मोहम्मद शरीफुल इस्लाम शहजाद, एज 30 ईयर्स। अभी तक के इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये समझ में आया है कि ये आरोपी चोरी के इरादे से उस घर में उसने एंटर किया था और उस समय पर ये इंसिडेंस हुआ था। इस एक्यूज को कोर्ट में पेश किया जाएगा और पुलिस कस्टडी की रिक्वेस्ट की जाएगी और उसके बाद आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जाएगा। एप्रोप्रिएट इस केस में एप्रोप्रिएट सेक्शंस की वाड़ की गई है और उस हिसाब से आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जा रहा है।
किन सेक्शंस को पासपोर्ट एक्ट में या फिर
पासपोर्ट एक्ट के रेलेवेंट सेक्शंस में रेलेवेंट सेक्शंस इसमें अप्लाई किए गए हैं। उसकी डिटेल्स हम प्रेस नोट से आपसे शेयर कर रहे हैं। ही डजंट हैव इंडियन वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट एज ऑफ नाउ वी थिंक दैट दिस is his first time entrance at that residence.
Let me bring in my colleague Abira, who is joining us with more details at this moment. Abira, first of all, a word about Saif Ali Khan and how is he doing? You are at the Leelavati hospital. I'm sure there are high-profile visits throughout the day, but how is Saif Ali Khan doing at this moment?
Yes, friends and family have been coming in while the doctor has said that Saif needs rest. He's on complete bed rest for 1 week and he has been told that as less visitors as possible. They have restricted number of visitors coming in. So mostly we see early in the morning, of course, Sharmila Tagore, his mother, who would come in every day and she left by evening. Kareena has been in and out. Today was the first day when the two kids, Taimur and Jay, came to meet their father after the incident, the first time after the incident. But they were there only for 20 minutes. We also saw Arjun Kapoor, Malaika Arora coming in to visit Saif today. They have also left. Right now, Amrita Arora, who is Kareena's best friend, she is inside to meet Saif. So there have been friends and family coming in and, being beside him while he's going through this tough time. But the doctor said he's recovering well and there's no risk of paralysis because they made him walk, because the question of paralysis came because of this that 2.5-inch knife that went inside him near the spinal cord. The doctor said he got saved by 2 millimeter. If the knife would have touched his spinal cord, it could have been dangerous, but it didn't happen. He was lucky that way. And there was a spinal fluid leak that happened, but it was taken care of by the neurosurgeons. The moment he entered the hospital, he was taken into surgery. The surgery went on for 5 hours, which also included the plastic surgeons taking care of the other wounds. Like he had severe wounds on his hand as well as neck, which was taken care of by the doctors there here, plastic surgeons here. So the doctor said that he has been moved from ICU. He's in the special ward now and he's doing fine. But there is a chance of infection, because of which they are avoiding visitors to come in as much as they can. They are restricting visitors to come in and meet him. They have told him for complete bed rest for now.
Abira, thank you for that update at this moment. Good to hear. Saif Ali Khan is recovering well, has been shifted to a special ward from the ICU. Thank you for joining us with all those details. But ladies and gentlemen, what does this say about Mumbai? Because it's just not the feeling of being unsafe in your own house. If this could happen to Saif Ali Khan, I'm sure there are many people, those who are thinking whether it can happen to them as well. Also, the way the whole investigation has gone so far, I mean, there have been 3 people who were arrested, a lot of hype, in fact, at this moment, and that, the accused has been arrested, and then the police had to release all of them, saying that, they have no connection, it's just a look-alike kind of a situation. So questions are being asked of the way the Mumbai police, in fact, calls itself one of the most elite police forces in the country, and the way the entire investigation is going on at this moment, while politics is another angle which has started as far as Saif Ali Khan's stabbing is concerned. But Abira, let me ask you this, Has there been any word as far as the family is concerned, post the initial statements by Kareena Kapoor and Saif Ali Khan publicists? Has there been any other information coming in from the family itself?
No, absolutely not. They have, like Kareena posted on a social media last, saying that they need to be left alone and they want some privacy. They've asked the media to give them that space, that, because it has been a very traumatic incident for the whole family and they are still shaken by it. So they have requested the media not to, call them or bother them, because they're right now trying to get over what happened, and their only priority is taking care of Saif Ali Khan's health. So right now, nothing from the family. We have been seeing Sara Ali Khan, Ibrahim, Soha, everybody coming in and, every day at the hospital. But nobody has spoken till now, and we don't think they're ready yet to speak to the media, because their first priority right now is getting Saif out of the hospital safely and, so that he gets healthy better and is back on his feet.
Thank you so much for joining us with all those details, Abira. Let me bring in, noted actor Nasir Abdullah, who's joining us at this moment. Nasir, we've been discussing this ad nauseum for the last few days, but for a lot of people in Mumbai, living in Bandra West, I mean, they must be thinking, if this can happen to Saif Ali Khan, it can happen to anybody. The sense of insecurity is something that is underlined as far as this entire incident is concerned.
I've been through this stuff earlier on the earlier, debates that, if they are not safe, then what about the rest? Which is not at all true, frankly. Ouch. So here's the deal. There was a motive for the attack, and we still don't know exactly what the motive was. It may have been a hate crime, etc. Things are not gelling for me, because the cops have shown a grab of this boy looking nothing like the guy they've arrested, and he seems to have wandered from Bangladesh into a high-rise building in Bandra and found his way in. It doesn't gel. I don't buy it, frankly speaking. And they need to confirm with the victims, the maid and Saif, is this the guy who attacked you? Because Saif must have had a great chance to have a look at him, because there was a fight. There was a scuffle. So I'm not buying into this, really, if you know what I mean. I mean, they've shown another guy standing in a mall, not looking like that. So it all looks very hodgepodgey, frankly speaking. And what you're saying about what about the other people, it's not true. There was a reason that a single man was attacked like this, and then there was the Baba Siddiqui thingy. The stuff happens.
If I understand this correctly from you, you are saying that it's a targeted sort of a situation. It's not that people are running around with machetes in Mumbai. It's a targeted situation on Saif Ali Khan. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm not trying to tell you. I've already told you that, sir, that you are saying that it just happened. This guy.
Sir, I am not saying anything, Mr. Abdullah. I am only trying to understand what you are saying, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so you want me to speak in another language? I'm happy to do that.
I'm sure both of us by this time know that English is the language that our audience prefer, and we can understand that. Let me also get Mr. P.K. Jain, former DGP Maharashtra.
I don't get it.
Mr. Jain, let me understand this from you, sir. Nasir Abdullah is an actor, and he says that what the police so far has done, the investigation, he doesn't believe that. It doesn't, he says that there are too many loopholes. The face of the person who's seen in the CCTV and the person who is arrested, according to him, doesn't match. Apart from that, sir, there are questions being raised. There were 3 other people, those who were detained at various places, including in Chhattisgarh by the police, saying that we have found our suspect. And then the police says, you know what, this guy is not the suspect. We are still looking for our suspect. Now, the Bangladeshi angle also comes in. Mumbai police is supposed to be the most elite police force in the country, sir. Do you think that the investigation has gone the way it should have?
Namaskar. Thank you very much for calling me here. See, as an experienced police officer, I would like to point out that there could be a number of people going by the information that the investigating officer receives from various quarters, that they've seen the suspect, they've detained the suspect, we should take possession of him and all that. The police cannot let any clue go, so they go take the guy into custody and then verify whether he was the person or what kind of a story does he dole out, or whether he matches the description that we have. We already have a very clear shot of him. So all those things are always matched, and then only a decision is taken that this is not the guy whom we want. So those false leads, as we call them, keep coming in. They will keep coming in even in future till the time the actual accused is apprehended. Now the police say that they have already arrested somebody from Thane, and they've arrested somebody from Mumbai, and he is the actual culprit. I think this will also have to be verified. There are a whole lot of things. There will be an identification parade which will have to be carried out between the witnesses, the victim witnesses, and the accused. So once it is verified that he is the same person, then probably further investigation will take place. If Saif Ali Khan or his maid do not give out this fellow to be the same person, then obviously this is also another false lead. So let us wait and watch. The police investigation, the details are never told to anybody. The DCP has been very categorical, saying that this is a matter of investigation. Let us investigate. We'll come back to you with more
But
facts.
are you concerned, sir, that
it's
been more than 48 hours, and like you said, the police is still at this moment, clutching to some preliminary leads, or they are in fact in the very primary stage of their investigation? Are you concerned that in a city like Mumbai, a high-profile incident of this nature can happen, and for 48 hours, we are still at the very beginning of the investigation, not being able to apprehend the guy, see whether there is a bigger conspiracy or it was a lone sort of attack?
See, unfortunately, in this case, it was Saif Ali Khan. As I have been earlier mentioning, this could have been anybody else in the building also. The guy had come to the flat with a clear motive of theft, burglary, which has gone wrong. That the kind of weapon that he was carrying also shows that he was not carrying a proper weapon. He had not come to attack Saif Ali Khan at all. It all happened because he was trying to be apprehended. There are too many questions. Questions which need to be answered in this story.
Okay.
When there's a version that he was locked up in a room and from there he escaped. I mean, I find there are too many loopholes. There are too many gaps in the statements. So let us wait till the time the police wraps up this theory and then comes up with the actual accused. There are thousands of thefts which take place in Delhi, in Mumbai, and there are another 1,000 which take place in Maharashtra. This does not. I mean, this is, for me, this is one of those routine burglaries where the house owner has been stabbed. Well, it happened to be Saif Ali Khan is a different matter altogether.
Nasir doesn't agree with that. He thinks that it's a targeted...
He may not agree. He may not agree. He does not agree.
I just want to comment on that, sir. You've made your point. Let me just get to Nasir. Nasir, you heard the former top cop of Mumbai, of Maharashtra, in fact, saying that it's just a burglary gone wrong, and the end of the receiving end was Saif Ali Khan. It could have been anybody else.
Maybe, but I'd like the top cop, for whom I have a great amount of the respect, to understand one thing. 10 days ago, sir, there was a debate, and there were some of these right-wing folks getting upset suddenly out of the blue because Mr. Kumar Vishwas mentioned something about the name that they have named their son. The name is actually Taimur, which means an iron-willed human being, a man of iron strength. And they were arguing, and they were making it look like it was the wrong thing to do, the wrong way to name him. And I said, look, they've gone by the name, not by the history of one evil man who had come to invade India. Okay. And there's a long debate, and these guys were going on, hang on, they were going on saying, this is not right. And I said, what are you talking about? Can you imagine anybody using a name like that with that intention to humiliate the Indians any further, because they are attaching him to the invader who came 500, 600, 800 years ago.
Okay.
So that also happens. I'm just thinking maybe it could be a hate crime or something. Since you said the police should investigate everything, they should investigate this angle as well, because I find this very hard. Somebody without any documents, a refugee from Bangladesh, walks into somebody's house with all the security around, and he manages to ask for 1 crore, and he manages to have a fight with this guy. What are we thinking of?
So
it
all
looks
those
fantastic,
things,
and it was an inside job
all
also.
those things possibly are the questions that the police need to find an answer to. And as Mr. Jain was saying, we'll have to wait for the police to wrap up their investigation. But I agree with one thing for sure, that there are too many unanswered questions, too many statements and things which have been said so far which do not gel and look cohesive, at least for the entire incident also, and also with the way this investigation is going on. Gentlemen, thank you at this moment for joining me and putting out your point of view on this. Moving on and just a bit staying on this story, because as I said, the one angle is, security, Saif Ali Khan, bigger conspiracy or not, or robbery gone wrong. But this has now given, and the identity of the accused, who the police says that they've got their man, a Bangladeshi, that has now turned a huge political situation as far as Maharashtra is concerned. Now, politics has begun over the Bangladeshi immigrants. Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister, has said that the accused came via Kolkata. He has pinned the blame on West Bengal and Mamata Banerjee. Congress, on the other hand, has said, spoken on the illegal immigrants and has said that the centre is unable to control infiltration. BJP has hit back and has brought in Delhi as well, where it has said Aam Aadmi Party is giving shelter to illegal immigrants and they are being used for political gains, while the TMC has thrown the ball in centre's court.
Border line of Bangladesh that is under jurisdiction of BSF. The border that is not under jurisdiction of any West Bengal police or any other state police, that is completely under central government, central agencies, BSF. So if there is a single person who have taken entry illegally from Bangladesh, that is the total failure and responsibility of सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट बीएसएफ।
पहले दिन से हम कह रहे हैं कि देश में अवैध बांग्लादेशी, अवैध रोहिंग्या देश की सुरक्षा के लिए और दिल्ली की सुरक्षा के लिए खतरा है, और वो जो पकड़ा गया वो भी अवैध बांग्लादेशी है। अब जिन बांग्लादेशियों को पालने का काम अरविंद केजरीवाल करते हैं, उनको 10,000 रुपये महीना उनके विधायक देने का काम करते हैं, उनके नकली आधार कार्ड, उनके नकली वोट बनाने का काम अरविंद केजरीवाल करते हैं। अरविंद केजरीवाल, ये तुम्हारा रिश्तेदार है जो पकड़ा गया वहाँ से।
यही तो मैं मोदी साहब को विनती करता हूँ कि जो बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स है, जो केंद्र सरकार के अंतर्गत आती है, जो बीजेपी के साथ है, अभी यहाँ पे राजनीति हम बाजू को रखेंगे, लेकिन ये जो इन्फिल्ट्रेशन हो रहा है, दूसरे देशों से लोग हमारे यहाँ पे आ रहे, उसका जो प्रमाण बढ़ते जा रहा है वो थोड़ा सा अभी कम करना पड़ेगा, वहाँ पे ध्यान देना पड़ेगा, रिक्रूटमेंट करनी पड़ेगी, और रिक्रूटमेंट करते वक्त जो बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स है या आर्मी में लोग हम लेंगे, वो परमानेंट लोग अगर ज़्यादा लेंगे तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है।
Meanwhile, tragic news coming in for Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker, as her maternal grandmother Savitri Devi and uncle Judhveer Singh passed away in a road accident in Haryana's Charki Dadri. The accident occurred on the Mahendragarh bypass when the scooter they were riding on collided with a car. Unfortunately, both of the victims died on the spot. The incident happened at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning because of the foggy weather conditions. The driver fled the scene and the police are currently investigating the case. This devastating news comes just 2 days after Manu Bhaker received the prestigious Khel Ratna Award from President Draupadi Murmu. A fire broke out at the Maha Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh due to cylinder explosion in tent in sector 18 and 19. The blast occurred near the camps by the Shastri Bridge. Fortunately, as of now, no incident of or at least no casualties have been reported. As per the police, the fire is under control. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also visited the spot. Prime Minister Modi spoke to Yogi Adityanath and took stock of the situation. After the research firm Hindenburg announced its shutdown, Nate Anderson, the founder of Hindenburg Research, is facing allegations of collaborating with hedge funds to create targeted reports against companies. A Canadian portal reported the court documents filed in Ontario court reveal connections between Hindenburg and the hedge funds. Moiz Qasim, the head of the hedge fund Ounson, stated in documents his firm shared research with various sources, including Hindenburg's Nate Anderson. The allegation suggests Hindenburg may have worked with Anderson to create report potentially indicating a conflict of interest. The timing of the announcement raises questions, especially given the firm's history of publishing reports that significantly impact the companies targeted. Now, what can be the repercussions as far as Hindenburg and Nate Anderson is concerned? The repercussions, the preparation of the bearish reports without disclosure of participation can be charged as securities fraud by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. Meanwhile, Adani Group, in collaboration with the Gorakhpur headquartered Gita Press, has distributed free copies of Aarti Sangra to Mahakumbh devotees. As a part of spiritual Mahayagna, Adani Group has offered 1 crore copies of Aarti Sangra free of cost to the devotees. The book is a collection of devotional hymns or Aartis and is published by Gita Press. Earlier, Adani Group Chairman Gautam Adani met the trustees and officials of the iconic Gita Press and had promised to gift this book to the devotees.
यहाँ पर एक अपनापन, एक अपना घर जैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं, तो अदानी जी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये बहुत ही एक सुनहरा अवसर था जो उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरह से लोगों की सेवा करने में बिताया है और बहुत अच्छा महसूस होता है। सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, यहाँ आकर ही नहीं, मतलब कोई अपना है जो इतना सोच सकता है दूसरों के बारे में, ये सोच करके बहुत बहुत खुशी मिली है। धन्यवाद।
That's all the time that we have in this edition. News and updates will continue here on NDTV. Stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 50 Pro, world's first AI-powered pro-grade camera.
Saif Ali Khan stabbing incident, accused now has been sent to 5-day police custody. Mumbai police confirms the accused is a Bangladeshi national. Politics over accused Bangladeshi origins. Ajit Pawar says accused reached Mumbai via Kolkata. TMC hits back, says illegal immigration failure of the central government. Delhi Chief Minister Atishi accuses BJP of sending goons to kill Arvind Kejriwal. BJP leader Pravesh Verma hits back, says Kejriwal's arrogance angers people. Fire breaks out at the Maha Kumbh. Several tents caught fire near Shastri Bridge. Prime Minister Yogi speaks to Chief Minister Yogi.
And I swipe it there, bound rewards, मैं everywhere, कहीं से भी करूँ collect, spend करूँ direct.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top brand.
Get it free with single ID.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip and the spiritual sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to the best of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
For 2 decades, NDTV has been a window to the world's greatest thinkers, leaders, Nobel laureates and stars at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
From Bill Gates to Shakira to Randy Zuckerberg to top ministers to what is often the biggest story. India, a global economic powerhouse. Conversations around our greatest challenges from AI to wars to sustainability. Join us, NDTV's Vishnu Shom and me, Neeraj Shah, as we engage with the world's finest. NDTV at Davos from January 20th to January 25th.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
अगर मुझे इस महाकुंभ का वर्णन एक वाक्य में करना हो तो मैं कहूंगा ये एकता का ऐसा महायज्ञ होगा जिसकी चर्चा पूरी दुनिया में होगी।
संग संग चले हैं ढोल मंजीरे संग और चंग गंग नगरी बम 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 लहरी।
अजर हो गया है, अमर हो गया है, शहर तंबुओं का शहर हो गया है। महाकुंभ की आस्थाओं में
ये जनता के बड़े सौभाग्य की बात है।
ये एकता का प्रतीक है।
The largest gathering of pilgrims and devotees on earth has begun. Lakhs of seers and Naga sadhus from across the world have assembled in the historic city of Prayagraj to celebrate the biggest Mahakumbh in history. It is a global congregation of seers at Mahakumbh this time. Naga sadhu Anjana Giri is from Italy. She has come to Mahakumbh with thousands of seers of Atal Akhada, one of the most ancient akhadas.
What is the significance of Mahakumbh for you?
It's a big festival.
Big festival?
Yeah.
Yeah. You are from which country?
Italy.
इटली से आए हो?
जी।
अच्छा। तो ये पहला महाकुंभ है आपका?
हाँ, पहले महाकुंभ।
रिलीजियस सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है इसका आपके लिए? महाकुंभ आपके लिए?
ये तो 3 नदी का जॉइंट है, मतलब all together we can make a good things.
Around 40 crore pilgrims are expected to take part in history's biggest Mahakumbh in the historic city of Prayagraj. As millions of pilgrims congregate from more than 50 countries to take a holy dip at Sangam, they're also witnessing the most green and sustainable Mahakumbh ever organized. From Prayagraj city to Mahakumbh Mela ground, The walls are covered with colourful messages of sustainability and the importance of no plastic use.
One time use plastic एवं पॉलीथीन का प्रयोग नहीं करेंगे.
A special campaign has been initiated to promote the idea of sustainability and sensitize common citizens and visiting pilgrims.
कितना शौचालय इस बार, कितना शौचालय का
1.5 लाख शौचालय बनाए गए हैं, जो पिछली बार की अपेक्षा लगभग 1.5 गुना है.
1.5 गुना ज्यादा है. और सभी घाटों पे भी आपने इंतजाम किया है?
इंतजाम किया
50 घाट हैं.
जी हाँ जी.
Lakhs of trees have been planted in Prayagraj to make it a green city. In this AI-powered digital control room, officials are monitoring the implementation of UP government's mega cleanliness drive across Prayagraj city and the Mahakumbh Mela ground.
Absolutely. It will be very green. We're not only doing a seminar or a conference on that, but we are ensuring that plantations, no use of plastic, use of materials, which are very friendly that way, restricted use of electricity, and in the matters of, using for the street lights, the banned use of plastics of that micron size will absolutely not be permitted, and we've seized a large number of such materials already, but we are encouraging and making people aware on how to use these, alternate materials in lieu of plastic.
The message of sustainability is visible everywhere, from colourful posters painted on city walls to the Mahakumbh Mela ground, where thousands of temporary housing tents have been constructed with natural recyclable materials. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath personally came to inaugurate this Kumbh village.
महाकुंभ के आयोजन के साथ अब एक नया उत्तर प्रदेश लोगों को दिखेगा, जो विरासत और विकास के साथ जुड़ते हुए पूरी दुनिया को अपनी ओर आकर्षित करेगा. और उस आकर्षण का केंद्र बिंदु देश के अंदर उत्तर प्रदेश, दुनिया के अंदर भारत, और भारत के अंदर उत्तर प्रदेश बनने जा रहा है. उसके लिए हम सबको अपने आप को तैयार करना होगा.
A sustainable tent city with specially constructed 200 recyclable green tents. This has been designated a no plastic zone.
200 tents की प्रॉपर्टी बनाई है और ये 6 एकड़ लैंड में है ऑन द बैंक्स ऑफ द रिवर गंगा, और इसमें करीब 400 लोग एक दिन में हम लोग केटर कर सकते हैं. वी वांट टू ब्रिंग ग्रीन. हमने प्लास्टिक कहीं भी यूज़ नहीं किया है. वी हैव ग्लास बॉटल्स, वी हैव ये हमारे जो डिस्पेंसर्स भी हैं वो हम नॉर्मल प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम डिस्पेंसर सिस्टम रख रहे हैं.
तो एक नया एक्सपेरिमेंट है. दिस इज अ टेंट जो कि ग्रीन है और इसमें प्लास्टिक का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया आपने. हाँ,
एवरीथिंग इज आइदर वुडन.
हाँ, ओके. और ये किस कैटेगरी का रूम है?
सर ये प्रीमियम कैटेगरी है. दिस इज अ टॉप कैटेगरी रूम्स, एंड इसमें अगर आप देखोगे वी हैव अ स्मॉल बेड, सिटिंग एरिया, अ लगेज एरिया. जी, तो हम लोग इसमें ये
2 लोगों के लिए है.
2 लोगों के लिए है जी.
और ये लग्जरी सेगमेंट वाला टेंट
जी
है.
सर.
तो इसका कितना फेयर रखा आपने?
अराउंड 35,000 रुपीज अ नाइट.
35,000.
सो दीज आर ऑल वाटरप्रूफ कैनवस.
अच्छा, वाटरप्रूफ कैनवस.
जी,
मतलब अगर बारिश भी होती है तो
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. वी आर नॉट यूजिंग वो छोटी वाली प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स जो होटल में होती हैं. वी आर ऑल डूइंग डिस्पेंसर्स एंड ग्लास बॉटल्स एंड एवरीथिंग. तो
जिसे कंप्लीटली ग्रीन.
यस.
Sustainability is a major theme of Mahakumbh 2025, with a focus also on promoting renewable energy sources. In a 400 crore ambitious mega electricity plan, the thrust is on promoting solar lighting systems. Thousands of hybrid solar bulbs have been installed in the 17-kilometer long and 14-kilometer wide Mahakumbh Mela ground.
हम लोग 2000 सोलर हाइब्रिड लाइट लगा रहे हैं. बेसिकली हाइब्रिड लाइट की परिकल्पना हम लोगों ने 1 साल पहले की थी और इसको माघ मेले में ट्रायल भी किया था. इसका फ़ायदा ये रहता है कि मेला चूँकि जब होता है तो उस समय फॉगी रहता है, तो सोलर की चार्जिंग नहीं हो पाती, इसलिए हम लोग हाइब्रिड पे गए. हाइब्रिड के कारण वो बिजली से भी चार्ज होता है और जब धूप रहती है तो सोलर से भी चार्ज होता है. ये लाइट स्वतः शाम होते ही अपने आप ऑन हो जाती है.
Guinness Book of World Record holder and international moustache dancer Rajendra Tiwari Dukanji is the brand ambassador of Swachhata during Maha Kumbh. He's roaming around the Mahakumbh Mela ground wearing colourful placards with one message: use cotton bags in place of plastic bags.
मैं ज़्यादातर पूरे शहर में हर जगह प्रोग्राम रैली में घूम घूम कर लोगों को जागरूक करता हूं। संतों महात्माओं कल्पवासियों से निवेदन कर रहे हैं कि इस बार का महाकुंभ पॉलीथीन मुक्त रहेगा। इसलिए आप सभी से निवेदन है कि आप मिट्टी के कुल्हड़ और ग्लास और कागज़ के कप ग्लास का प्रयोग करें।
To make Mahakumbh 2025 a plastic-free and sustainable event, lakhs of plates and bags from across the country are being distributed to the devotees under the Ek Thali Ek Bag campaign. 9 ghats have been reconstructed to make them more sustainable and environment-friendly. Mahakumbh brand ambassador Dukanji says pilgrims should not throw flowers and other puja material in the river.
माँ गंगा में माला फूल हवन सामग्री न डालें, लेकिन जब मैं ये शब्द कहता हूँ तो यहाँ की जितनी सम्मानित नागरिक हैं वो हमसे ये कहते हैं कि माँ गंगा में माला फूल डालने से गंदगी नहीं होती है। हमने कहा ये बात सही है। गेंदा का फूल और गुलाब का फूल इतने केमिकल के माध्यम से वो बड़े हो रहे हैं और जब वो फूल माला हम गंगा जी में डालते हैं, माँ गंगा चिल्ला के कह रही हैं, मेरे प्यारे भक्तों, अगर इसी तरह आप हमारे पर प्रदूषण करते रहेंगे तो मैं एक दिन इस धरती से और प्रयागराज की पावन धरती से चली जाऊंगी।
Clearly, Mahakumbh 2025 is all set to be the most eco-friendly, sustainable and green Mahakumbh ever. A truly sustainable experience for millions of pilgrims. With Himanshu Shekhar and Sachin Gupta in Prayagraj, Anasya Mathur for NDTV.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
Kind attention, please. Delhi Election Metro 2025 is arriving on People's Platform. Please mind the gap. BJP or AAP, who will get to the Delhi Secretariat station?
दरवाजे बाईं तरफ खुलेंगे.
Who will Delhi voters open the victory doors for? And who will be shown the door? Can the BJP throw AAP's victory run off track? Or will it be Kejriwal's ticket to win again? Can Congress take the election metro to revival? We will track it all for you. Delhi's decision destination.
Doors will open on the left.
Stay tuned to NDTV for Mega Metro poll coverage.
Well, I'm in Altadena. This is one of the worst hit areas. When disaster strikes, NDTV World brings you exclusive on-the-ground reports straight from the heart of the action.
A neighborhood in Los Angeles that has been devastated by fire.
I just received an emergency alert extreme which has come on my phone. Stay tuned for NDTV World's in-depth coverage as we bring you the real stories from Los Angeles. This is the Altadena area and there are still fires and there's a lot of smoke in the area. These houses completely gutted. This is reporting that matters only on NDTV World.
And I swipe it there. Pound rewards. मैं everywhere. कहीं से भी करूँ collect, spend करूँ direct.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top brand.
Get it free with single ID.
Mahakumbh, a festival of faith. The world's biggest spiritual festival. The divine dip at the spiritual Sangam. A sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
All set for Trump 2.0. Countdown to January 20th. Terror shadow, visa wars. All the twists and turns. Tracking Trump takeover. Every day at 10:30 p.m. only on NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to the best of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
For 2 decades, NDTV has been a window to the world's greatest thinkers, leaders, Nobel laureates and stars at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
From Bill Gates to Shakira to Randy Zuckerberg to top ministers to what is often the biggest story. India, a